What's up, everybody, and good evening here from the Unprepared Pod. The season starts tomorrow, guys. Happy Christmas Eve. So we're going to do a quick preview for the NFL season. Just me and my boy Josh. That's it. John couldn't make it tonight, but wasn't going to let the season start without a podcast. So real quick, just spend a couple minutes on going over last week's pathetic picks. Little college real quick, and then let's get right into the NFL. Might have a caller. Deciding if I want to do that or not. Honestly, if anybody calls while we're doing this, I'll put them on. I don't care. So we'll see what happens. But college kicked us off. Our picks were dreadful. Historically, last year, my picks in college were bad. John's were good. I'm up 2-3. He's 1-4. Absolutely disgusting. That's probably why I didn't show up. He doesn't want to face the music. I get it. I'll stand in front of the camera. I had the Sleepy Dog lock at a week last year. The Sleepy Dog pick actually did really well. Didn't do one for the college, but we'll get one for the pros. I got something cooking there. But yeah, we won. I won LSU and Miami. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Lost Texas. I mean, Arch Manning, listen, you put him in that environment, I think because of the name, you want to see him come out there and start slinging it, move around with his legs, show his mobility, show his accuracy. But it just didn't happen. Listen, the team they played are the defending national champions. Crying Ryan had him going, but it was really Matt Patricia's defense that was proved to be the difference in the game for me. LSU looked really good. I picked them as being the real Death Valley last week. Baton Rouge, go Tigers with the X at the end. I don't get it, but I'm not Cajun. And then I think the two big headlines for me is Bama losing to Florida State team that there's really not much expected of them this year. But they went into Florida. Bama they went into Tallahassee and they got handed it to them. I don't know. Kalen DeBoer. We're going to be hearing about this all year long. Every time Bama doesn't even play well, forget about losses. You're going to hear about it. Is this going to be it for him? Huge buyout for them to get rid of him. So I don't know. I think it's like something ridiculous, like $60 million or something like that. We'll check that. Pete's gonna check on that. So we'll make sure that that's the right number. But you're going to hear about Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. Kalen, what kind of name is that for a guy anyway? I don't know. To me, you go from Nick Saban to Kalen DeBoer. So I think that was good. So now hopefully Bama will be just out of there's 35 teams in the playoff now, so they'll probably still get in. But, I'm not a Bama fan at all. My partner to the right here, oh, he's not here. Big Bama guy. So that's my interesting take on this. So how long will it be before John picks another team to root for? Is he going to turn his back on Bama completely, or is it just going to be one of those like, oh, well, I always rooted for... And listen, I could give you 3 teams that he's rooted for years, but I'll bust his balls because it's what we do. So we'll see what his fandom does with Bama if they do struggle. And what happens with Kalen DeBoer. But the big story to me is Big Billy down in UNC. Chapel Hill, all the stars were out. You had Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, Roy Williams in the same booth. That's like, the Mount Rushmore is only of the top 3. You don't need anybody else. You also had Randy Moss. They had a lot of guys there. But I think that the storyline is twofold. One, 70 new players. Do you really even know the guys' names at this point and who you could trust in a situation? Their first drive was great. After that, it was literally completely just turn the lights off in the stadium because it was dreadful. Then you have the story behind the story with Billy's girlfriend Jordan Hudson on the sidelines before the game, talking to him. He didn't really seem real happy, and then he kind of went onto the field to then get his ass absolutely destroyed. It's just another storyline. I don't know if this is like a plant where They want to get more women interested in the game, like Taylor Swift got a bunch of kids and girls and stuff interested in, oh, I want to see if they're going to show Taylor and this and then the engagement and all that happy horse crap that honestly I don't care about. Like, why did anyone care about it? I don't know. But the Jordan Hudson storyline is definitely something that we're going to be hearing about a lot. It's going to become, is this a distraction? What's wrong with him? I mean, she's like 26, 24, whatever it is. He's 70 something. Like, it's bizarre. Straight to the NFL. So a couple interesting things going into this week. Week one, a lot of division games, which I think is a really good look for the NFL to start the season off with a lot of division rivalries. So I like that. What I don't like is the international game. You know, a Friday game in São Paulo, Brazil, Chiefs Chargers. I mean, again, the game, it's a great game, right? Chiefs Chargers, division rivalry. But now San Diego. No more San Diego. San Diego Superchargers. Nope. All right, so the LA Chargers, they lose a home game against the Chiefs. So, listen, Kansas City is still a 3.5 point favorite on this neutral site. Is this the year that Kansas City does take a step back? I don't know. It's kind of hard to go against Mahomes at this point in his career. His numbers did decline a little bit last year. I don't know if this is the end. I kind of want to see it because I'm kind of just over them. As I think a lot of NFL fans that aren't fans of the Chiefs kind of are. You're just kind of over them. You know, it's more theatrical, more storyline. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Mahomes' brother flopping around and doing stupid stuff. Like, it's just stupid. Brittany Mahomes and her new additions, like, I don't know, it's just kind of stupid to me. A lot of talent on the team. Rice is going to be out for the first couple weeks of the season. But again, I don't know if this is the year that they actually seed the AFC West, but we'll see. I mean, it's definitely something that's going to be interesting this whole season. But Cowboys, Eagles, kicking things off tomorrow. We didn't really talk about Micah the other day. I'm obviously a Cowboy fan, even though I'm repping the Bills today. At first the guttural reaction was like, this wasn't the Herschel Walker trade. 2 1s and Kenny Clark. It's like, that's it for Micah Parsons. So first, witness relocation, put me in a corner somewhere. Don't talk to me. I don't know. I can't eat my dinner. Very, very upset. But then as a person like myself would do, we start to rationalize things and we start to think about it as, well, what did we get? We got a guy that supposedly is going to stop the run and clog up the middle. He's going to go next to Osa. And, that's another body preventing Mozzie Smith from seeing the light of day, which was a terrible draft. I mean, Mozzie Smith, great at Michigan, love him, but terrible pro. And then second round, Luke Schoonmaker, who doesn't even play. This was our draft. And again, I love the natural segues. So it segues into, well, we got 2 first-round picks. So are we going to hit or are we going to miss? And what are those picks going to be? Are they going to be top 10? Absolutely not. Are they going to be top 20? Probably not. You're looking at a late 20. That's going to be your pick next year and probably the year after that as well. So I don't know what Jerry's got cooking. He extended Deron Bland, which is great. I like Deron Bland. We have some things to be happy and excited about. But, you got rid of an edge rusher for a run stuffer, which on the surface, with the new kid from, from Boston College, Sam Williams is now healthy. Marshawn Nealand, is he going to take a step forward? And listen, I don't want to make this the Cowboy podcast, right? Because right now I hear him in my ear, like, Joe, enough with the Cowboys. Nobody knows Marshawn Nealand. Hopefully you all will hear his name. But what I'm gonna leave with on this is Cowboys are in 4 playoff games with Micah Parsons. 1 sack, and that was against Tom Brady with the Bucs, the very end of his career. So if you're not going to show up when the lights are brightest, and we've seen the offense needs help, right? Because Dak's had his struggles with the picks and the, running when you have no timeouts and the clock is going to expire against San Francisco. And then just a brutal beating they got by the Packers 2 years ago. the defense just didn't show up. So your defensive star was nowhere to be found. So if the key is to get back to the NFC Championship and ultimately the Super Bowl, I don't know that this makes us better, but it may have addressed a need that will long term make us better. And then again, what do we do with those picks? If we suck this year, are we able to package our pick with another first rounder for a top 2 or 3 pick to get whatever that's going to be? And is that the end of the Dak era? And should it be? We'll see what happens. One of my things I will say, and I'll bring this into fantasy a little bit, watch out for George Pickens. Number one, wide receiver one talent. If his head's screwed on right, I think he's going to have an absolutely monster year this year. Dallas is going to throw the ball. I'm interested to see what Jaden Blue does with the Cowboys. I love a rookie running back. If this offensive line does start to continue to gel, I don't know how much we're going to get out of the running game. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and Jaden Blue doesn't strike fear in the heart of many NFC East foes. So I think Prescott's going to drop back and he's going to sling the ball. CD is going to get the ball, but George Pickens, he could have an absolutely wide receiver one type year this year, and Dak's going to be slinging it, hopefully all over the field. So we'll see what happens there. So that's my little Micah Parsons Cowboys thing. George Pickens is my guy. A lot of fantasy drafts, a lot of survival, a lot going on. It's a great time of year. Love this time of year. But again, just kind of going back to this slate of games, and I'm going to pick the games. I asked John if he wanted to call in his picks. He said he was busy doing something. So I don't know. I'm a man of the people. I'm here for you guys. I also love doing this. But John's busy. So you got me. That's all right. We'll get through it. And the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers going back to the Meadowlands to play the Jets in Jet Life Stadium. That's a great Week 1 storyline. This is what the NFL is about. Then you got Panthers, Jaguars, 2 teams that I think are going to see a little bit of an uptick with those 2 teams. Those are 2 teams to watch, in my opinion. Listen, at this point, Trevor Lawrence, you're either shitting to get off the pot, because it's it now. But I think that you see something out of the Jaguars. And Titans, Broncos, everyone's kind of ready to anoint the Broncos. But watch out for the Titans. There's a parity in this league. And you look at the spreads. The biggest spreads. Terrible week for Survivor. You're looking at your biggest spreads being Denver minus 8.5 against those Titans. And the Cowboys getting 8.5 against Philly. More on that game later. Everything else is pretty close. Texans, Rams, Ravens, Bills. Bills, Ravens, Week 1. Come on. And that's going to be the Sunday nighter. Monday night, Vikings, Bears, division rival. Caleb Williams. What are we going to get from him? Probably some sweet nails, some nail art. But other than that, is he going to take a big step forward, or is he just going to kind of meander around? So we'll see what happens there. J.J. McCarthy, Michigan man. What are we going to get out of him? Didn't play last year with the injury for the whole season. Let's see what we got from him. So there's a lot to see here. Is Justin Jefferson's injury, the hamstring injury, is that something that's going to linger? There was a report today, I think it was on Yahoo Sports, that they were concerned that might be something that's a little bit longer lasting than they had anticipated. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of intriguing matchups, but let's get to the damn picks. All right. In the league, where they play for pay. Going with the Chargers. I'm going with the not San Diego Superchargers. Just wacky stuff happens in Brazil. It's just wacky stuff happens. So give me the Chargers plus the 3.5. Keep it close. I don't know if they win, but let's see what happens. A lot of people picking the running back in fantasy because Najee Harris pretty much just sucks at this point in his career. So we'll see what happens with the kid over there. Then we come back to the NFC East. I got to go with the Washington Redskins over the Giants, or the G ladies, minus 6.5 at home, division rival. Listen, I think the Giants they're going to rush the passer, but I don't see much other than that. And with Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry, I just think it's going to be too much. I think they're going to overwhelm the G ladies. So give me Washington minus the 6.5. Then we're going to pick the big game. So we're going to go with Bills Ravens. Go Buffalo. I love Josh Allen. I think this might be the year where he finally gets over the hump, because I think that Mahomes gets taken out before he sees him in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm going to take the Bills. Vikings Bears. I'm going with the Vikings. And just because I do think that there's enough with that Viking defense, and I'm not going to trust Caleb Williams until he really shows something. And that leads us to tomorrow. Cowboys travel to Philly, the city of brotherly love. Disgusting, filthy Philly. Gross. Just disgusting. I don't even like the color green. It's disgusting. Listen, they're going to raise the banner, and hats off to them. They're Super Bowl champions. That's something that Cowboys haven't been able to say in a long time. But it's time for the sleeper dog. Nap sleepy dog pick. Give me the Cowboys plus the 8.5 in the city of brotherly love. I just think that this is one of those games where they should get blown out. They should just get blown out. The Eagles are the defending champs. Micah Parsons, this, that, the other thing. Is Trayvon Diggs healthy? Is he not? Who's going to stop Jalen Hurts? I mean, are we going to rush the passer? I don't know. But maybe we'll stop the run, and maybe we'll win the game. But give me 8.5 points. Division rival. Does it help that it's the Cowboys? Yeah, of course. I want to take the Cowboys. But that's where I'm going. So I'm going Eagles. Freudian slip. I'm going Cowboys, Chargers, Washington, Bills, Vikings. So it's 5. If John calls and gives me his picks, I'll put them on the comments so we can see what he was going to go with, or I'll put them up over here or make like a little graphic or something. But listen, this is the best time of year. Didn't talk about baseball because there's too much going on to talk baseball. But best time of year. College is going. NFL is about to go tomorrow. Starting off with division rivals, a lot of division games, a lot of storylines. I mean, you could kind of pick any one of these games, and have some really good questions and debate and dialogue on them. What's a game that you're interested in seeing? Maybe a team or a game that you're not a fan of either team, but like, Bengals Browns. I don't know. I want to watch Joe Burrow throw the ball all over the field. But what are the Browns going to be? The Shador Sanders, circus. Give me Dylan Gabriel. I want to see him throw the ball around. Bucks, Falcons. I mean, is Baker going to continue to be Baker? Falcons. Is Kyle Pitts ever going to do anything? What does year 2 for Michael Penix look like? Colts, Danny Dimes against the Dolphins. Everyone's writing off the Dolphins. I don't know. There's still a lot of talent on the team. So a lot of reasons to be excited for the season coming up. Bad Survivor Week. I mean, you look at this and everyone's going to take Denver and the Eagles. I already told you what I think about the Dallas Eagles game. Does Denver get knocked off? Everyone wants to anoint them as the challengers to the Chiefs for this year, taking more steps forward. I mean, a great defense. Bo Nix looked great, and there's some weapons there. R.J. Harvey, another fantasy phenom in the waiting, hopefully, for all those that got him. But what's going to happen there when you see an 8.5 point spread? You're going to see all the people just taking the Broncos, and that's usually where they get, the L. Let's put it that way. Get the big L up the old, where. Texans, Rams. A lot of people down on C.J. Stroud. There's a lot. But this is it. This is the time of year where we debate these things. We do crazy things like parlay all the division leaders to try and win $150,000 on a $3 bet. It's the fun that we have when we do this stuff. But I appreciate you guys sticking with me here for a quick 20-minute NFL preview. Again, the one thing I'll leave you with here, week 1 is going to be an exciting week 1, but I do want to give you my my division winners. And let's see if I can get all the way to the Super Bowl real quick in 60 seconds or less. Coming out of the NFC East, we're going to go with the Eagles, as much as I don't want to say it, so we're not going to say much about it. We're just going to keep it moving. Staying in the NFC, going down to the dirty South, I think we see something out of them finally, and I'm going to crown the Falcons as the South Division champs. Go over to the West, and I am going to go with, and again, not because I hate San Francisco, but I think that Stafford's back is going to hold up, and I'm going to go with the Rams. So we got Eagles, Falcons, Rams, and then in the North, Detroit's still a team to beat. And I could spend the whole show talking about the Lions. They were really, really banged up at the end of the season last year. They did lose their brain trust. They lost their offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. They lost their defensive coordinator in Aaron Glenn. But the players are still playing, and they didn't replace them with nobody. So give me the Eagles, Falcons, Rams, and Detroit Lions as my division winners in the NFC. Now, if we move over to the AFC, we're going to start over in the West. And it's not, we're going with the Kansas City Chiefs just because I think that's what's going to happen. In the AFC East now, we're going Buffalo because obvious reasons, because they're going to win it. We're going to go with the Ravens. And to round things off, as we look out, where are we going? Down south. Going out on a limb with this one. I don't see Houston being the same team as last year. That being said, I don't think that they're going to be bad, but I just think that they're going to get a run from their money because I think that Tennessee is going to be improved. I think that Jacksonville is going to be improved. But at the end of the day, give me the Colts and Jonathan Taylor. I think that this whole Danny Dimes thing might not be the worst thing in the world for the Colts. And I can't believe that I'm saying that. But KC, Bills, Ravens, Colts, Super Bowl this year is going to be your Buffalo Bills. And I do think that the Eagles get back there. But this time the Bills get revenge on the NFC East. And we're going to see Buffalo and Josh Allen hoisting the trophy today this year at the end of the Super Bowl. So maybe a little bit of foreshadowing for all you guys paying attention at home. But yeah, I think it's Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, and I just think it's their time. Too many weapons, and these receivers that he had no receivers last year are now another year with him. James Cook is an absolute stud. Ray Davis and Ty Chandler, round out the backfield. Knox is still kicking around. Dalton Kincaid is going to take another step forward. So I think that Buffalo is just going to be too much, and it's their year. So again, that's the preview show for us over here, Unprepared Pod. Guys, please, if you like what we're doing here, comment down below. Give us your takes. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And, like, subscribe, hit the notification bells. And the more likes and subscribes we get, the more we'll keep putting some content out there for you. We'll do some calls on Friday. All right, guys? Let's go Buffalo.